You wake up to a sunrise that feels prehistoric, not because the colors are different, but because the world beneath it never got the chance to become ours. The premise lands first. What if the dinosaurs never died, meaning the asteroid missed? The skies stayed clear, and evolution kept running on reptile time instead of handing the planet to mammals. In this world there is no human history, no cities built from stone and steel, no languages carved into paper, because the dominant blueprint never switched. The first turn is the most shocking detail. Earth is louder, not with engines, but with living mass, herds the size of weather systems move across continents, shaking the ground like slow thunder. Forests are not quiet places you walk through. They are contested territories where every step is a negotiation with something bigger, older, and perfectly adapted to kill or survive. The oceans are richer too, packed with giant reptiles that never surrendered their throne, and even the air feels claimed by wings that can blot out the sun. The world is not a museum of dinosaurs. It is a functioning civilization of biology, where the top of the food chain is still made of teeth. The next turn arrives when you realize dinosaurs do not need to be smart like humans to dominate. They only need to be stable. Over millions of years, ecosystems refine themselves into ruthless efficiency. Predators evolve better senses, better coordination, better endurance. Prey evolves better camouflage, better migration patterns, better warning systems. The planet becomes a chessboard of instincts, with strategies passed through behavior and selection rather than books. And then comes the twist people never expect. Some dinosaurs to become smarter, not human smart, but something alien smart, because brains evolve when they pay rent. Certain pack hunters develop more complex communication, not words, but layered calls, gestures, and displays that carry meaning across distance. Some herbivores evolve social structures so disciplined they resemble moving fortresses, with rotating guards and coordinated defenses. Small feathered species, already close to birds, become the true wildcards, because intelligence scales faster in small bodies that can survive mistakes. Corvid-like dinosaurs learn to solve problems. Parrot-like dinosaurs learn to mimic. Rat-like species learn to plan routes, set traps, and remember seasons the way humans remember birthdays. It is not civilization with laws and philosophy, but it is a step toward culture, patterns of behavior that persist beyond individuals. Another turn hits when you look at the landscape itself. The world is shaped by dinosaurs the way our world was shaped by humans. Migration paths become permanent scars, creating grasslands where forests could have grown. Simply because millions of feet keep the land open, riverbanks are carved into highways by repeated movement. Entire valleys become nurseries protected by violent territorial rules. Even climate behaves differently because massive herbivores influence vegetation and carbon cycles, and massive predators influence where herds can safely graze. The planet is not just inhabited by dinosaurs, it is engineered by them, slowly, unintentionally, but powerfully. Then the dark twist creeps in. This world is not friendly to mammals. Without the asteroid wiping the board, mammals never get their chance to expand into the open niches. They exist, but as shadows, small nocturnal survivors living under the feet of giants, evolving speed, stealth, and paranoia rather than dominance. Primates never rise. Humans never happen. The what-if becomes sharp and personal in a strange way. In a world where dinosaurs live, you do not. And yet, the story does not end there, because nature never stops experimenting. The next turn is the one that feels like science fiction. There are moments, rare, but real, where intelligence spikes in the dinosaur line in ways that resemble the early scaffolding of technology. Not fire and wheels, because claws and jaws are not built for delicate crafting, but something else. Tool use appears among smaller species that can grip. Stone dropping, stake levering, cooperative digging. Nest architecture becomes complex, not just for comfort but for defense, with maze-like entrances and communal chambers. Some species begin to cultivate symbiotic relationships with insects and plants, protecting certain groves because they attract prey, or preserving water sources because they understand drought. It is not progress in the human sense, but it is adaptation that starts to look like intention, and then the next turn raises the stakes. When intelligence rises, so does cruelty. The first time a smarter predator discovers that fear can be used as a weapon beyond the hunt, the balance shifts, territorial wars become prolonged. Not just displays, but campaigns. Ambush sites get reused. Weak herds get bullied away from water. The planet becomes modern. Tooth and claw survival, it becomes strategy. And strategy creates suffering that is no longer purely incidental. This is where the world starts to feel unsettlingly familiar. Because you see the early outline of power dynamics, dominance not just over prey, but over rivals. Another turn, the sky becomes crowded with evolution's experiments. Birds still exist, but they share airspace with larger, stranger flyers that never faded out. Some migrate in patterns so vast they change weather locally, creating wind corridors and seasonal storms as they move. Coastal regions become death zones during breeding season as flyers and marine reptiles converge, and the oceans, in this world, are not humanity's frontier, they are someone else's empire. Patrolled by creatures that have had tens of millions of years to perfect dominance in water. Then comes the reflective twist that flips the meaning of survival. Humans often imagine dinosaurs as failures because they disappeared, but in this world dinosaurs are the success story, not because they are morally superior, but because stability beats brilliance if the environment rewards it. That realization cuts deeper. If the asteroid never hit, the planet would not become kinder, smarter, or more enlightened. It would become more ancient, more optimized, and more indifferent. The aha lands with cold clarity. We think intelligence is destiny because we are intelligent, but intelligence is just one strategy among many, and the universe does not promise that the strategy that writes poems is the strategy that wins. In the final turn, the camera pulls back to the true scale of the what-if. Earth, ruled by dinosaurs, is a planet of overwhelming life, of ecosystems tuned like instruments, a beauty that does not need an audience. It is a world where nothing is missing because nothing was ever built for us. And the most unsettling question is not whether humans could survive there, because they never appear, but whether our existence was ever inevitable at all. If you want more cinematic what-if stories that rewrite history by changing a single cosmic coin flip, like and subscribe. And comment what you want next. If the dinosaurs never died, what do you think would replace humans as the planet's most dangerous kind of intelligence?